Hey guys, welcome back to Critical Flick. With all the theaters closed, I figured we would dive in to some of the new content on the streaming services. And today I'm going to talk about Love, Wedding, Repeat on Netflix. So this is a type of film that I wouldn't naturally gravitate towards. I'm not huge into rom-coms or romance movies in general, but I figured let me expand my horizons, try something new. Obviously there's not a lot to check out, so let's just see whatever was new on this. I have to say, I was pretty disappointed. To be honest with you, the whole movie revolves around a wedding party. It is a family and all their friends together, and it has some quirky, fun moments. Some of the characters are kind of endearing, but the only real character with any kind of story or arc that we focus on is Jack, played by Sam Claflin, and I think he did a pretty solid job. He is a likable character. He feels, though, like any throwaway, disposable character from a rom-com movie in like the mid-2000s. This movie does feel really dated for a movie that's new. It feels like something that we've seen many, many times before. It reminded me a lot of Death at a Funeral, but not quite as funny as that film. I don't know, just nothing about it really stood out. As far as the story goes, there is no real story going on here. We just have a wedding and the bride and her family, and then them having these different little sub-stories going on, trying to stop this ex-boyfriend from ruining the wedding, having the brother trying to reunite with a long-lost lover, having these exes squabbling, new relationships and old relationships forming, and it all kind of coming together in a neat little package at the end. But there's nothing really happening. There's no overarching story. It's just a bunch of little small things. The one thing I will credit the movie with is it is pretty decent looking as far as it goes with costuming design. It takes place in this very picturesque estate, so that part works. The dialogue, though, just isn't that strong. And having a movie that takes place in such a centralized location and a very small group of characters, I don't know, you really have to have some really tight dialogue to make that work really well. And it just feels pretty basic, pretty bland. By no means is the movie aggressively bad. It's just kind of a movie that you can just have on in the background. And one of my biggest issues with the characters is that, like I said, they don't have any real growth or any arc. A lot of them are basically just caricatures. You just have someone who is, the crazy ex-boyfriend that's kind of a drug addict and he's kind of zany and you're trying to stop this guy. You have another guy who's very insecure and he's trying to make up for it and he keeps talking about the size of his junk and stuff over and over again. There's a lot of repeating jokes, a lot of repeating gags. There's another guy who's wearing a kilt and he's very uncomfortable with the fact that he's wearing a kilt, and they bring that up every single time he pops up on screen. So like I said, there's only one or two characters that get any kind of progression or any depth to them. And honestly, this movie being fairly short almost hurts it. I mean, it's not a great movie. It's not like I'd want it to be super long, but if you stretched it another 15, 20 minutes and added a little more depth to these characters, you could even have flashbacks. I mean, the movie starts with a flashback, and that's really the only experience we have with a character outside of this wedding party. So I didn't love that. I would have liked to see more of what drives these people, add a little depth to it. At the end of the day, I do know it's kind of your throwaway Netflix movie, and it's not really built for that purpose. But if you wanted to like really push it to another level, something like, I really love Love Actually. It's kind of the same kind of concept. I really love some movies that do the same style, but do it in a way that you feel connected to these characters, really rooting for them. I didn't honestly care throughout the movie what happened to him. So if I were to rate this movie, I would give it a 4 out of 10. It's not aggressively bad. It's definitely something if you enjoy romantic comedies, you want kind of like a light and airy British comedy, one of those type things. It's definitely worth checking out. But other than that, just kind of a throwaway movie to have in the background. So those are my quick thoughts on Love, Wedding, Repeat. If you checked out this movie, let me know what you thought about it. Maybe you enjoyed it more than me. I'm interested to see that someone who's maybe this is more the target demographic for how they would feel about it. Did you like it? Did you find it really heartwarming? At the end of the day, I didn't find a lot of it very touching. There are a few scenes between the brother and sister that work really well, and some other scenes involving specifically the brother. They kind of focus on him mostly. But other than that, just a bunch of like basic banter going on. So again, thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and see you next time.